I'm Deborah Tuff. Thank you for watching Upfront Gwinnett, Suffering in Silence. The county has had its fair share of headline-making incidents, particularly since the lingering effects of the COVID-19 pandemic continue to affect different people in different ways, bringing the topic of mental health to the forefront of conversations. One such incident in the county happened in March of 2022, and it could have gone bad really quickly, but our first responders were even quicker. Here's how they answered the call.
Gwinnett County 911, what's the location of your emergency?
Yes, this is Greyhound Drive again. This guy's getting very agitated.
We start with that breaking news coming out of Gwinnett County, where there's a SWAT situation on a Greyhound bus. This is all unfolding right on I-85. Let's get straight to 11 Alive's Doug Richards. Doug, the lanes in that area are shut down, really creating a mess out there on 85.
A Greyhound bus, we're told, that was full of passengers and a driver at one point. A gunman appeared. Police say that
It was March 2022. It's been just over 2 years. Walk me through what the day looked like for you.
At the time, I was sitting at my desk doing paperwork. One of my full-time SWAT guys called me and said they were responding to a situation on a bus where one of the passengers had pulled out a gun and taken hostages.
He said, there's a guy on a bus at Indian Trail and 85, and he's got people hostage.
All right, was this an accident, sir?
No, the guy on my bus with a gun.
I wasn't really thinking this was a real call because it kind of sounded like something in a movie plot.
But it wasn't a movie, it was real life. Police determined a 23-year-old man experienced a mental health crisis on a Greyhound bus going from Atlanta to New York. Led by Gwinnett Police Major Brian Revis, SWAT surrounded that bus.
When there's 30 or 40 innocent people on a bus and a guy has a gun, you have no idea which way that situation's going to go.
That's when Gwinnett Police Corporal Tracy Reed and her partner, Viewpoint Health clinician Pej Madavi, arrived to the scene.
Pej was helping out the crisis negotiators, and I was talking with this young man's family.
He just was very agitated, wasn't making sense. As negotiators are talking to him, they kind of realized that mentally he's not there. He's having some type of mental crisis. The passengers on the bus start coming out the back windows.
At what point did you know that it was going to be okay, that the situation had been de-escalated?
Truly knew it was going to be okay was once we had him in custody. We were able to get everybody off the bus. All of our officers went home safely, and the suspect wasn't injured.
And the fact that they would allow a social worker in their world of hostage negotiation and, SWAT stuff, to me, that was huge.
Rita Madavi had prepared for this moment. Less than a year before, in 2021, the duo was pinpointed to lead the county's pilot co-responder team, the first team, the only team in Gwinnett.
That experience was very stressful, a lot of pressure. We went to every crisis call that we could get our hands on to see what are the officers on the road dealing with.
At the time, Gwinnett Chairwoman Nicole Love Hendrickson and the Board of Commissioners realized the pressing issue of mental health coming to the forefront, and that the county needed a high-impact, compassionate approach to answering health crisis calls.
The bus situation on Greyhound could have turned to a very different scenario. I can't imagine how those incidents would have turned out had we not had a co-responder model in place.
The pilot became so successful that 5 more teams were added, 1 for each precinct in the county. As for the young man who held up the bus,
So after the fact, when all that played out that way, you do sit back and wow, that turned out really good.
he's now holding a steady job and taking it day by day.
The important thing of this unit, and that what we do going forward and with all of the situations that we're involved in, is making sure that we follow up with that young man. The jail has resources. The jail has mental health treatment. They do have doctors and providers and medications and all that kind of stuff.
If you or a loved one are experiencing a crisis and need immediate assistance, call 988 to speak with a mental health professional or call 911 for law enforcement assistance. Coming up on the next Upfront Gwinnett, Suffering in Silence.
They starting to become more violent and self-injury. Someone that may be dealing with mental health could be very suicidal.
As you hear a lot of the horror stories about having to deal with folks that's going through mental crises. Sometimes, a deputy or a jailer may get assaulted. We're trying to make sure that people understand that the training process is ongoing.